Now, welcome back to the Prospect Hut, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe. We actually got some sad news. That's sad news. I would mention that I'm on Substack. Please check me out on Substack, and of course, follow me on Facebook. We do have some sad news here at the Baseball Hut. The Mets have released one of their, former prospects just recently in the last few days. It's sad because you don't see some kid lose his dream. You would hope that it'll get picked up by some other team and make it to the majors at some point, but kind of sputtered, spinning his wheels the last few years. This is from SI.com. New York Mets released former top prospect outfield. The Mets do not have a strong outfield core in their minor leagues, by the way. New York Mets have officially released this former top prospect outfielder from the organization. So sad. So sad. It really is. It really is. No joke. New York Mets are moving on from this one promising minor league. Okay, get to it already. On Friday, the Mets released former top prospect outfielder Alex Ramirez from Double-A Binghamton amid activating Mark Vientos from the injured list and moving Griffin Canning to the 60-day IL. Although the speedster had 22 stolen bases, Ramirez was slashing just .222 with a .304 on-base percentage, .298 slugging percentage. Wow. A .602 OPS. 2 home runs and 14 RBIs in 54 games for the Rome opponents this season. These poor numbers came from back-to-back underwhelming campaigns in High A Brooklyn in 23 and Double-A Binghamton in 2024. Mets non-tendered him in the offseason but opted to bring him back on a minor league deal shortly thereafter. However, he did not make it to the season before the Mets ultimately decided to release him from the organization. It was not long ago that Ramirez was a highly touted prospect in the Mets farm system. In 2022, Ramirez was a number 6 ranked prospect, and in 23, he was their number 4 prospect. As previously reported by the Mets on their side, Ramirez's name was brought up in several trade rumors back at the 22 deadline, but the Mets were unwilling to part with him for a rental piece at the time. That's a screw up of Billy Epler. I mean, that trade deadline is going to go down as a disaster. Billy Epler did a terrible job in 22. Because he brought in players that they were pieces, but they needed a little bit more than what he dealt for. Vogelback was a disaster. Ruff was a disaster. Michael Givens, every player that he picked up at that deadline was a mess. And he had players that he could have moved to get better, and he didn't do that. While Ramirez didn't pan out in the Mets system, he's still just 22 years old. His best year in the minors came back in 22 when he posted .782 OPS, 30 doubles, 11 homers, and 21 steals between High A and Double-A. That being said, Ramirez's stock has gone down significantly since that breakout campaign. There's nothing worse than when a prospect burns out. Some players are like this. A lot of players are like this. They get signed, and they signed him at 16 years old. He's been in the organization a long time, and some players just burn out. For whatever reason. And there were all kinds of rumors about him saying that he's difficult to deal with. That's what I heard about a few years ago, but what's interesting is this happened, and unfortunately, he's not going to be making the majors with the Mets. But you let me know what you think about this video, and of course, please subscribe to the Prospect Hut, and I'll see you later. Now, welcome back to the Prospect Hut. Now, we had a big performance on Thursday, and we'll get into this momentarily. Before we get into this video, please, of course, like this video and subscribe. I would mention that I post a lot of stuff on a site called Substack, and the reason is very simple. I'll get into it on the Baseball Hut later on today when we talk about some rumors, but YouTube is suppressing independent creators, believe it or not. They're trying to get independent creators off the platform, off of YouTube, because they want to become a streaming service, and they just want to get rid of independent creators like your host, who's not down with the corporation and not down with giving you the patent answer of MLB. So I'll put the link in the description. And what's good about it is every time I post something, you get an email. So it's not a situation you don't get notified about a video coming up. As you'll actually get an email, a personal email, that'll just send it to you right away, and you'll see it. And really love to grow it. I'd love to do a live stream on there. I need 10 subscribers. I need 4 more subscribers to be able to live stream on Substack. But and I also mentioned I'm also on Facebook, and I've been doing live streams on Facebook the last 2 nights, and I'll do one tonight when the Mets play the Pirates. But here's a recap from Mesmerize, and we had a big performance by a very young, probably one of the most youngest of the Mets prospects, and probably a prospect that is going to be number one very quickly. Elian Pena hit 3 home runs. Now, this is the second time this season where the Mets have had a prospect hit 3 home runs in a game. We know that Jacob Bremer hit 3 home runs when he was playing in Brooklyn back in May. He had late April or early May. And, of course, he just went to Double-A. But let's get into it. Yoenis Suarez pitched 6 innings, a 2-hit ball, and a Binghamton win. Brendan Gert struck out 8 in the Brooklyn extra inning loss. St. Lucie was held scoreless in their loss, and Elian Pena was unstoppable, hitting 3 home runs in the DSL on Thursday. The Syracuse Mets and the Rochester Red Wings got rained out. And we made up on Saturday. It's a doubleheader. Double-A. The Binghamton Roma Ponies defeated the Portland Sea Dogs 2-1. Second baseman Jet Williams went 0 for 4 for a walk. At some point he's going to go to AAA. I don't know when. Nick Morabito went 1 for 2. The runs scored, a double. Stolen base, got 30 on the year. Ryan Clifford went 0 for 2. His OPS is at 831. He had 2 walks in the game. Kevin Parada went 1 for 3. His OPS continues to go up. Continues to rise to now 723. Carson Benj playing in the second game. Went 1 for 2 for runs scored. 2 stolen bases and 2 walks. Jacob Bremer went 1 for 2, and he's got an RBI. He's 3 so far in Double-A. A walk and a strikeout. Jet Williams had a rare 0 for day, although he still reached base on a walk. Williams continues to keep the pedal to the floor when he gets on base, but was caught stealing on Thursday. Carson Bench stole his first 2 bases at Double-A behind a 1 for 2 day that also saw him draw 2 walks. Rome Ponies as a team walked 10 times and only struck out 9. And only scored 2 runs? Oofa. There's no RISPs. Not a very good number. Yoenis Suarez pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, gave up a home run. Joshua Corneli pitched 2 innings, struck out 3. Ryan Lambert, who's got an ERA of 2.79, pitched 1 inning and gave up 1 hit and struck out 3. He could help the Mets in September. Keep an eye on him. Mets drafted him last year. And obviously, you had no problem calling up people from Double-A. As you know, Jonathan Pintaro got promoted, and then they sent him back down. They promoted him on Wednesday, sent him back up to Syracuse on Thursday. He hadn't pitched in AAA this year. Joshua Corneli, who was born in Venezuela, had a great moment when his parents were finally able to watch him pitch in the United States. And he showed out for them with 2 scoreless innings and striking out 3. He has had a solid season up to this point, provided Binghamton stability in the bullpen. Ryan Lambert got back on the horse and struck out 3 batters in his 1 inning of work to grab his 3rd save of the season. The Brooklyn Cyclones lost to the Jersey Shore Blue Claws 5-4. Boston Barrow went 1 for 5. It'd be interesting to see how well they play, because they played so great, and now they promoted a couple of guys. Boston Barrow went 1 for 5. A.J. Yoon went 2 for 5. Jesus Baez went 0 for 3. Chris Suarez went 0 for 4. He could be the next guy that gets called up to Double-A. And Colin Houck recently promoted to St. Lucie. Marco Vargas and Eli Serrano off. The Cyclones scored 3 runs in the first 2 innings and would not score another run until the 11th inning. Every Cyclone player reached base and only 2 went hitless. Brendan Gert pitched 4 innings, he had 2 hits, 1 run. That's earned, 8 strikeouts. Joel Diaz pitched 4 innings, he had 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He gave up a home run. Okay. In St. Lucie, the Mets there lost 6-0 to the Jupiter Hammerheads. Trey Schneider went 0 for 3. Jeremy Rodriguez went 0 for 3. And Trace Wilhoit went 1 for 3 for walk. His OPS is 845. He's an undrafted free agent. I would expect that he'll get promoted at some point to Brooklyn. On the pitching side, Channing Austin went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run earned, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Leo Nevados pitched 1 1/3 innings, walked 2 and struck out 3. The Florida Complex League, New York Mets lost to the FCL Mets lost to the FCL Cardinals 5-4 in 8 innings. This was doubleheader, or maybe it was a rain out. Edward Lantigua hit his second double of the season and went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. A walk-in was caught stealing. D'Angelo Sarmiento went 2 for 3 with a run scored, a stolen base, and a walk. Nicholas Carano struck out 5 in 3 innings, allowing 3 hits and 1 unearned run. Bryce Jenkins returned to the mound after missing the entire 2024 season. He struck out 2 to score, saying now the big performance on Thursday, the DSL Orange Mets defeated the DSL New NYY Bombers 20-19. 20-19. Elian Pena went nuclear, going 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored, a double, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs. I thought it was 8 RBIs I saw. Thought it was 8. Despite his low batting average, Pena has a 732 OPS on the season. The game features a combined 23 hits, 23 walks, and 6 errors. The Mets ran out of pitching and had to use a position play to lock down the save. That was pretty good. That's pretty rough. The DSL, let's see here. Well, there was a couple games here. They had a game that was on the 16th. They completed it. The Mets lost that game. The DSL Mets blew. And another game, the DSL Mets blew, defeated the DSL Nationals 7-3. Giovanni Rodriguez, who's a catching prospect who they signed 2 years last year. He's not on any list yet, but he'll be going up the list very quickly. Went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Union Paro went 0 for 1 for runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and right-handed pitcher outfielder Justin Ramirez went 2 for 3 for runs scored, an RBI, and a strikeout. But to get back to Pena, to finish up the video, he really struggled up until the last few days. I guess he started his career, I think 0 for 25 or something like that. But this is a big performance. This certainly is putting him on the map very quickly. He's very highly rated, very highly regarded. His comparison when they signed him in January was that of Rafael Devers. So the fact that he is already paying dividends so quickly, and he's got an OPS at 732, he's hitting in the 100s right now because he doesn't have a lot of hits. But to have this kind of big game so early in his career tells you how exciting it is to be a Met fan to watch. He might be a guy that could be an elite player. And obviously the Mets don't have too many in there. They don't have any in the Mets system. I would mention that again. I think we've talked about this here on this channel. The Mets have no elite prospects in the system. They have a lot of good prospects. Guys are going to be everyday players. Guys are going to be contributors to Major League rosters, but they don't have an elite player. He might be it, but he's many years away. He's only 17 years old. He has a lot of development to do. He has to grow up too. He has to fill out. He's got to grow up. And it's simple as that. He's a punk kid, and he has to grow up. That's it. Well, thank you for watching this video. I have more stuff on the Prospect channel. And again, I'll put the link in the description. Become part of Substack. You'll get emails whenever I post anything. It'll be something I've written, or something, or a picture, or a video from here on YouTube. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you later. Well, welcome back to Prospect Hut, and hopefully you like this video. I don't normally talk about trades here, but a prospect that the Mets have who's having a very good season is A.J. Ewan, I guess, and there's talk that he might be the kind of player that the Mets move in a trade for a Major League player. This team needs help. I think we know that. They need some offensive help. They can use some help with the pitching. The core of this group is very strong. They go through these downturns during the season, and you just got to hold on. I expect this team to struggle a couple more weeks until they right the ship back up, and they'll be ready to go in the second half. But I found this interesting article on a prospect, and this is from Rising Apple. They come up with all kinds of crazy stuff, Rising Apple. I will say this. Dynamic New York Mets prospects could be the bait for blockbuster trade. Let's see who they mentioned here. I think I said it already. New York Mets have never been shy about flipping tomorrow for today, especially when the standings start whispering promises in July. A.J. Ewing is quietly turning heads with his performance, showcasing the kind of speed and on-base skills that make him a tempting option as a trade deadline chip. He's been consistently productive, and that kind of upside rarely stays under the radar for long. Now, I would mention that David Stearns has not made a major trade yet in his time, the year and a half that he's been with the Mets, or the 2 years now that he's been the Mets head of the front office. So he's done a lot of things, bringing a lot of media, a lot of free agents, and made that massive deal of signing Soto. He's made a lot of little trades, but he has not made a singular trade to improve the club yet. Just to keep that in mind. With the trade deadline approaching, Ewing's rise has positioned him as a valuable bargaining chip. Mets boast promising prospects with few combined production versatility like he does. As the team looks to strengthen its major league roster, Ewing could be a key piece in a deal that helps push the Mets deeper into the postseason race. As the Mets approach the trade deadline, his strong performance this season puts him in a position to become a key asset in potential roster moves. Ewing may not carry Jacob deGrom's velocity, but he has quietly become one of the best things to come out of the Mets' attempt to soften that loss. Drafted in 2023 with the compensatory pick they received when deGrom left in free agency, the 20-year-old lefty hitter has given the organization something rare: speed, contact, and the kind of production that does not wait for development timelines. He opened the season with St. Lucie and wasted little time making an impact, earning Florida State League Player of the Month honors for April. He called up the Brooklyn File later that month, and the momentum has continued. Across both levels, Ewing is hitting .325 with a .439 on-base percentage, 56 runs and 50 stolen bases and 255 at-bats. He's converted 50 of 56 stolen bases and is batting .383 of runners in scoring position, showing consistent poise in key moments. While the Mazes have primarily used him in the outfield, where he has logged over 120 games, Ewing has also made 38 starts at second during his time in the minors. That kind of versatility only adds to his appeal. Now, he's a infielder by trade when they drafted him. A player who can handle multiple spots defensively or bring a top-of-the-line speed and table-setting potential is the type of profile that gives teams options, and options tend to move at the deadline. It is the kind of all-around performance that tends to catch the attention of front offices looking for untapped value. Ewing is not the type of name that dominates prospect rankings, but teams hunting for upside often look past the labels. A player who gets on base, puts pressure on pitchers, and produces in key spots can quietly rise to the top of a trade target list, especially for clubs who look to add youth without paying a premium. As the trade deadline nears, the Mets face decisions about balancing winning now with the building for the future. A.J. Ewing's versatility, speed, and consistent production gives the team flexibility. But he remains a key part of their plans or becomes a valuable piece in the deal. The season so far has made one thing clear: he's a player worth watching as July unfolds. And like I said, the Mets have not made a big trade with Dave Stearns yet. And they've not made a major trade at the deadline since Javi Baez. So they've gone 4 years, and then, of course, they traded Pete Crow Armstrong. But that trade is really the last major trade the Mets have made, and the last trade of a major prospect. So it's been a long time since the Mets have done anything. 4 years is a long time without making a major trade. But it's an interesting dynamic. So you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Prospect Hut. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Now, welcome back to the Prospect Hut, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to talk about here Fangraphs top 25 prospects for the New York Mets. And of course, I need you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you watch the beginning, go through the entire video, watch the entire video. I really would hope and appreciate that. And I'm going to post on the side here what some of these categories mean. And one of the things is how they evaluate these players once they get to the major. So you'll see different numbers on the side here. Hope it's not too small for you to watch. But here we go. We got New York Mets top 45 prospects that they have. And this is a very interesting list. And there are new names on this list that there are players on this list I've never seen before. Not too many, but a few. And if you've been watching the channel, you'll learn some new names here. Okay, let's start at number 1. This is a current list. This is a list that was compiled within the last few days. So it was June 27th, today is July 1st as I record this video. So this is a very, very recent list, an updated list for them. And number 1, right-handed pitcher, Brandon Sprout. Right now is in AAA. He is a player that's drafted him twice. Once in 2022, they signed him, and then 23 they signed him. He is very close to the majors. He just pitched really well in his last outing. He's got a very good chance of being with the Mets this year. Number 2, and this is an updated version. Number 2 on this list is Jonah Tong, who again is pitching. He's probably pitching the best of all the Mets starters in the minors, of the Mets pitchers in the minors. He is dominating Double-A like he dominated Brooklyn before his call-up. I expect him to go to Triple-A very, very soon. I really do. And he's got great stuff, and we'll see how he performs. The walk rate's a little high, but we'll see. Next up, number 3, Nolan McLean. They signed him 2 years ago at Oklahoma. Out of Oklahoma a few years ago. He was a two-way player, and they told him to basically give up the hitting last year. And since then, he's taken off. He's now in AAA. He pitched really well in AA this past year since he started focusing on pitching. He has pitched really well of late. At number 4, Carson Bench, who's going to the Futures game in a few weeks, representing the Mets along with Jonah Tong. He's an outfielder. Very talented. He's the first player of the Mets under David Stearns who they drafted. He has a chance to be a very good player. And you see the numbers. 50 is an average player in terms of just WAR. Next up is Jacob Reamer, who has had a big season. Had a big year in Brooklyn. Hit 3 home runs for the Brooklyn Cyclones. He, as well as Bench, went to Double-A at the same time, the same day. He did not play at all last year. He's got a chance to be an everyday player with the Mets. And has a chance to be an average major leaguer. You can tell by the numbers here. Jet Williams, another player who's at 50. All the players I mentioned here are at 50. So you see the list on the side here. That's their value. They're going to be average major leaguers. Jet Williams, coming into the season, was the Mets' best prospect. He's playing really well in Double-A. I expect him to go to Triple-A very soon. And he had a bad wrist injury last year. Next up, Blade Tidwell, who we see in the majors. He's number 7 on this list. He's 45 plus on this. Ronnie Mauricio, number 8. We've seen him. Surprised he's still on this list. He's been playing a lot for the Mets. Number 9, Luis Angel Acuna. I'm surprised he's on this list. He's at 45 as well. I'm surprised he's on this list. Drew Gilbert, who's just recently starting to pick it up. He's got to get to the majors this year. He's going to be 25 years old very soon, the next few months. So he's got to get into the has to get to the majors. He's in AAA right now. His OPS is a little over 700. He's got to get here. Next up, 11th, who's flying through this, literally flying through the list, is A.J. Ewing. He's right now is in Brooklyn, I believe. And he has 50 stolen bases on the year. He's having a big season for the Mets. And people are really talking about him. Next up is Ryan Clifford, who right now is in Double-A. I expect him to be there most of the season, if not all the season. They have him here as a right fielder, but he's more of a first baseman. Next up, number 13 is Elian Pena. He's only 17 years old. I expect him to go further on this list since he's been playing in another 2 months. He'll probably be a top 10 prospect by the time we get to October. Wellington Aracena, that's a new name on the list, on any list. But I've talked a lot about him on this channel. He is in Class A, and he's in Brooklyn, St. Lucie. And he is a starter, right-handed pitcher. He's 45. So Jesus Baez, he's in Brooklyn, I believe. He is a third baseman right now. and he's had a very strong year. Eli Serrano III, the Mets drafted him last year, I think fourth overall, their fourth pick. He's a outfielder, very interesting player. Jonathan Pintaro, we saw him. He is number 17 on this list. He pitched last week for the Mets. Anthony Nunez, keep an eye on him. He might help the Mets later on in the season. He is 24 years old in Double-A. Will Watson, the Mets drafted him last year. He's another name on this list, very high. He's 22 years old. He's 19th overall. At number 20, Jack Weninger. He's in Double-A. I'm surprised Justin Hageman is on this list. He's been a major league. I believe he's been a major league before. Surprised, and he's with the Mets currently. I don't understand this. He got sent back down, but I don't know why he's on this list. It's a very strange list. Don Hamill, believe it or not, still on the list. He's 26 years old. He hasn't been in the major leagues yet, but expect him at some point, maybe next year. Chris Suarez, a catcher, first baseman, outfielder. He's 23rd on this list. He's 21 years old. Number 24 is Boston Barrow. He's a shortstop. At number 25, we have Mets' number one pick from 2 years ago when he's 20 years old. He's in Brooklyn right now. Just got called up. He's still playing shortstop. He's probably going to be a third baseman. He makes the majors. He is now 25th overall. He's having a very good season, which is great to see. Did not play well last year. Catcher Diverson Gutierrez is a catcher. He's now in Brooklyn. He's in St. Lucie. Excuse me. He's in St. Lucie. And he's 26th overall. At number 27, 18-year-old Giovanni Rodriguez. He's considered probably the Mets' best catching prospect. I signed him last year to a massive contract. He was probably the best catching prospect in the amateur signing period last year. 18 years old. And his name is Cesar Acosta. He's also in rookie ball. He is 16 years old. He's not going to be here for a long time. Don't know anything about him. He's a new name. Number 29, Dylan Ross. Keep an eye on him. He's in AAA. He could help the Mets as we go on further in the season. He's 24 years old. Felipe De La Cruz, who I believe is a lefty. He is 24 years old. He's in AAA right now. Ramon Gomez, who is coming off of Tommy John surgery. He has thrown the hardest fastball in the minor leagues this year, 104. Right now, he's in Brooklyn. Also in Brooklyn at number 32 is Jonathan Santucci. He's 22. The Mets picked him over a second pick last year from Duke University. He does not have a lot of innings under his belt because he's been injured a lot. He was injured a lot in college, but he's very, very talented. Ryan Lambert, he's in Double-A. He throws over 100 miles an hour. Keep an eye on him. He might be with the Mets either late this season or probably all likely next year. Throws very hard. Douglas Orlan at 34. He's 23 years old. He's in Double-A. Edward Lantigua, who's 18 years old. He's in rookie ball, left fielder. We've heard about him a lot. Herberto Rincon, he's a new player on this list. He's a center fielder. He's number 36. Catcher, first baseman, Ronald Hernandez. Obviously, let's picked him up from the Marlins a few years ago for Dave Robertson. Joel Diaz, who's 21. He's in Brooklyn. Jose Chironos, he's in St. Lucie. Marco Vargas recently was called up about a month ago. He's a shortstop. He's 20 years old. Another player from Dave Robertson trade. Very talented player. Jeremy Rodriguez, the player the Mets picked up for Tommy Pham. He's in St. Lucie. He's 19 years old. Nate Dome in Brooklyn, right-handed pitcher. He's a talented pitcher. We'll see what happens with him. He is 22 years old, number 42. Frank Allsalt, who's in St. Lucie. He's 23 years old. I believe the Mets drafted him last year. Luis Alvarez, new name on this list. He's 22 years old in St. Lucie. And finally on this list, and we've seen his name a little bit here and there, is Luis R. Rodriguez, a lefty. And this is the Mets list. I don't like parts of this list. They don't have Zach Thornton in this list, which is interesting. I don't believe I read his name. You have players that have been to the major leagues, like Ronnie Mauricio. He shouldn't be on this list. Luis Angel Cunha. He should not be on this list. I didn't know Justin Hageman was that good of a player. This is more like the Mets' top minor leagues than it is the Mets' top prospects. Very strange list, but you let me know what you think about this video. What do you think about this list that Fangraphs put out? And of course, thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, and I'll see you later. Well, this is the part that's kind of serious for me, is because this is losing my ability to get more subscribers on here and get more views on my all my channels. And obviously, this is more my problem than it is your problem. But I wanted to make you aware of it, especially if you're a person that watches all my videos and wonders why you don't see as much content on notifications and why they don't recommend some of my videos. And I'm a very independent person. I'm very open, very much think about myself. I don't think about, I don't have guests on any of my shows. I just do my own thing. I am my own expert when it comes to talking about the Mets. I hate to be like that, but I hate to talk like that, but I am. I am my own expert when it comes to talking about everything about the Mets and everything that we talk about in Major League Baseball. Now, I may not know something, and I'll try to learn about it if I can, but I do the best I can with what I have, but I have a problem, and I saw this back in February. Some of the views on all my channels had basically collapsed, specifically the Baseball Hut 2. I have 3 channels that talk about baseball and main subject being the New York Mets. And I noticed with all those channels that I have, those 3, in February, the views really dropped. I know that every year we go through a cycle. The heavy cycle is the winter time from November to December, January, and then it picks up around middle of June through the trade deadline. But I saw some unusual movement in terms of losing subscribers. I was losing a lot of subscribers on the Baseball Hut in March, February and March, for like no reason. Tons of subscribers that I was losing. Well, I also have an entertainment channel called the Comic Book Hut, but on there, I don't do much work there. But on that account, I follow a lot of like comic book channels, a lot of entertainment channels. One of the channels I follow is John De La Rose, who I know from online. He's a good online friend, and he had been posting a couple of videos, and he has a website or an account on Substack called Phantom Pulse, and he's been covering the YouTube manipulation of what goes on YouTube. Now, I bring this up because it's very important, because people have been saying to me, well, I'm not getting your videos, and obviously the views are way, way down. I mean, for the Baseball Hut, I have 6,000 subscribers on this channel, on the big channel. And on the last video I posted about, the Mets beating the Braves a few days ago, I had under 800 views. That's pathetic. It shouldn't be that way. It should be much, much stronger than that. And I felt for a while that I've been targeted. Let me read you from Phantom Pulse, and he's been covering this for the past week. A Clownfish TV confirms YouTube's algorithm manipulation is destroying independent creators across the platform, not just entertainment channels. Now, Clownfish TV is a big channel. They got over 600,000 subscribers. And this is like a team of a guy and a lady. And they team up and they do all kinds of stuff talking about, comic book movies, adventure movies, all the stuff that's going on in culture in terms of entertainment. The YouTubers at Clownfish TV have added their voices to the growing chorus of creators exposing YouTube's systematic suppression of independent content, confirming that the platform's algorithm manipulation extends far beyond individual channels to represent a coordinated attack on creators who don't conform to corporate media standards. Now, I would mention the Patriot Hut. The Patriot Hut, I was doing a lot of good work there, but nobody was watching. And I know, just based off of this, I know that channel has been deemed something they don't want to have. But it's more than that. It's just more than political stuff. It's corporate. Host Keenan and Geeky Sparkles, that's their names, detailed how their own channel has been experiencing the same algorithmic throttling that the Quartering, who has a channel. If you don't know the Quartering, he's a guy that basically started out doing just card games, and he has almost 2 million subscribers. I've been following him for a long time, and he's very much in tune to the algorithm, and he'll follow it wherever it goes. And he's a great creator on here. He's one of the big creators on here. The Quartering exposed earlier this week, proving that it isn't an isolated incident, but a deliberate campaign to marginalize independent voices. Quote, "We're going to try to make sure that you guys get notified of our content," Kenyon explained, acknowledging the platform's failure to deliver content to subscribers. "It's not just us. A lot of content creators are noticing that people are not getting notified. They're not seeing their content anymore. And I'll talk about what I think is actually going on. But it doesn't even matter if you follow them. It doesn't matter." The host revealed that YouTube has fundamentally broken its core promise to users, that subscribing to channels would ensure access to their content. Quote, "Doesn't matter if you ring the bell for notifications, if subscribers, whatever, or I've got people that are like, I've been subscribed to you for years. In the last couple of months, we're not seeing your content anymore." And when I check my, all the information that I have on my app, a lot of people don't watch. A lot of people that are subscribers don't watch. And the recommended views are higher than people that actually watch. It's very strange. The manipulation has become so severe that YouTube is promoting old and irrelevant content over fresh uploads from subscribed channels. Quote, I'm getting recommended like really old shit, right? Like old reviews, years old, news old. It's all screwed up. Sorry. I think I got a video recommendation from somebody that's dead. Like, what the hell's going on here? That's very true. Clownfish TV's analysis connects the suppression to YouTube's broader strategy of favoring mainstream media over independent creators. You have a bunch of people in Hollywood and the mainstream that are mad, and we've talked about it for years. They're mad about people are going to YouTube and they want to infiltrate the space. The host identified the core problem. YouTube was attempting to transform from a creator-driven platform into another streaming service dominated by corporate content. YouTube right now is trying to position itself as a streaming service to compete with Netflix and Disney and Hulu, but it's not. It's YouTube. Geeky Sparkles pointed out, this transformation betrays the very creators who built YouTube's success. People didn't want that stuff. They came to YouTube because they wanted to hear independent voices. If they wanted that stuff, they'd watch it where it was. Wouldn't they? But they didn't because they don't want it, Kenyon said. The solution, according to Clownfish TV, requires active effort from viewers to circumvent YouTube manipulation. You cannot depend on YouTube at this point, too. And it's not just for us, but for any of the creators that you follow. Now, this is why I've been going on different platforms trying to expand myself, because this channel has been targeted. There's no doubt in my mind. And I've been targeted by YouTube. They don't want me on here. I know that WFAN has done more content on here as a way of circumventing my criticism of them about how they treat the New York Mets, how they talk about the New York Mets. And they've been doing all this content, all this extra content, in particular the live stream that Evan Roberts does. Evan Roberts, they're trying to balance out that not everybody on the radio station are assholes when it comes to our team, America's team, the New York Mets. I know that's why they've been doing a lot of content on here as a way to sort of try to like counterbalance my criticisms of them for the last 2-3 years. Okay? And they're using their corporate bullshit to basically undermine what I'm trying to do here. And that's trying to make a buck and trying to pay a mortgage and pay the bills. And here's the thing. This is not my career. For guys like people like Clownfish and the Quartering, that's their career. So they don't care if the little guy gets hurt here. WFAN doesn't care. They were getting tired of me criticizing them. And of course, they're owned by George Soros, by the way, WFAN. So, I would mention this, and I'm going to show you this. This was a video that I did just a little while ago about Mets prospect Elian Pena. I mentioned him earlier in this video, how he had 3 home runs in a game on Thursday. I posted a short on the Baseball Hut. At 10:30 this morning, I had 4,600 views. Now, it went up to over 5,000 views, but at around 12 o'clock, it was around 4,900 views. As I record this video, for some odd reason, the video collapsed to about 3,700 views. What happened there? You know, I noticed it. Now, I noticed how quickly the video went crazy when I had over 4,000 views in the first hour. And then after a while, YouTube cut off all these views off the video. Now, that's revenue. That's money out of my pocket. Why are they doing that? And I know the views on my videos, they're not that great on a short. Unless I post a highlight. So I don't understand what's going on here with this sort of change that they did today with us. I don't understand this. So again, it tells me that they're manipulating views. They're manipulating the how you get the content. Now, like I said, I've been on Substack. What's good about Substack is, from what I understand, it's very much about freedom of speech. They don't manipulate things. But one thing I do like about it is that whenever I post something on the platform, you get an email, okay? Every time I post something, you get an email letting you know when I'm posting something, which on YouTube, that doesn't happen. On YouTube, you get notified off the app. You don't get an email telling you that you got a post from the creator. So that's why I need you to go on and subscribe. It's very easy to get on Substack, okay? I would mention it's much easier. I don't know how it is on anybody else's computer. It sucks on the computer. But if you want to watch and go in there and subscribe, I would suggest you subscribe off your phone. It's much easier to read it off your phone. And I will post everything now on there. Every baseball video that I have, every comic book video I have, will be posted on there, and just to share with you, to show you what I'm doing. And I would mention, I did a couple of videos during the week on the Baseball Hut too. Nobody watched them because it has nothing to do with the audience. It has to do with the fact that YouTube is not recommending it, and YouTube's not letting subscribers know that a video went up. So, if you subscribe to Substack, you will get an email letting you know when a video goes up on YouTube, or if I post something, or I've written something, or I've put some kind of fact about the club, about the New York Mets on there, you'll know. So that's the value of it. You'll get notified through email. You won't be getting notified because YouTube decided to notify you or not to notify you. I've said for a long time that this channel should be much, much bigger. Baseball Hut should be much, much bigger. And I know for a long time that they've been suppressing it for a very long time, because I'm very independent. And like I said, I have no guest on here. I don't like collaborate with anybody. I don't want to be bothered. I don't have time for nonsense. I have no time for talking to strangers. I really don't. I'd rather, if I have people on here, be friends and family, and that's about it. If I have anybody, I haven't had a guest on the Baseball Hut in a long time. And like I said, I'm my own expert here when it comes to the New York Mets, so I don't really need anybody in that regard. But I do need you. I need you to watch this very important part of the video, because if I don't get people to, I mean, YouTube's trying to run me off the platform. They don't want me here because I go against the MLB corporate message of everything's fine, everything's good. But there are some things in baseball that aren't good, and things that they're snowballing us on, you know. And I have to talk about it, and nobody else talks about it. You look at the other channels, they don't talk about it. I bet you most of these channels, these baseball channels, don't know about the manipulation that YouTube has, because they're not dealing with that manipulation. And there are channels that are great channels, should be doing much better. Hum Baby Baseball, he's an independent guy. His channel, he should have 100,000 subscribers. Easy. Based off the content that he does on his channel is so good. It is the best content on this platform when it comes to Major League Baseball, and he doesn't get it. And I think because he doesn't really collaborate with people, and he doesn't want to talk to the baseball. And he never has anybody in the baseball industry on, and he loves the Giants, and he loves talking about baseball history. And he's just terrific. But he's an example of what I talk about here. So it's extremely important, folks, that you come on here and go on to Substack and subscribe. And it's free to subscribe. Eventually, I need to get 10 subscribers on there. I got about 6. I could use 4 more so I could do live streams on there, a few on there. I would mention also I'm on Facebook. Last 2 nights I've been doing live streams on Facebook after the Met games. I think they've been pretty good. I've been very happy with them. But more important, and of course, you got to follow me on. I'll have the links in the description of this video for both sites, both for Facebook and for, of course, Substack. It's extremely important to follow me on Substack because you'll get every video in an email, every post in an email that I can put out there. I do know that some posts that I put on the community side, people don't get it. It's the weirdest thing. Some people just don't get it. They don't see it. So that's an example of YouTube manipulating everything to go based off of their own corporate message. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I thank you for your patience as you watch this. I know it's not something you want to deal with, but this is very important to me, and I need your help to really expand and really to give myself a little bit of a net in case YouTube really just pulls the rug right from under me. So thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you later. Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hut. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to have a message at the end of this video. I know people watched it before, but it's very important. I'm on Substack, on Facebook. I need you to subscribe to Substack. Got 11 subscribers. I'm very happy about that. And I have over 1,600 followers on Facebook. Be another one. And all you boomers out there that watch these videos, you can watch more of my stuff on there. But here we have from the Mets minor league system. We had a big week with one of the youngest prospects the Mets have in their system. That's Elian Pena. And Mets Rise covers this. Elian Pena breaks out with huge week. Top international prospect Elian Pena had a monster week at the plate for the Mets Orange squad in the Dominican Summer League. Pena went 5 for 11 in 4 games with 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 5 walks, and 7 runs. All 3 of his home runs occurred in the same game. After a dreadful start to his pro career, the highly talented prospect now owns a 744 OPS. Got off a rough start. He was 0 for 22 to start his career. Not very good. Across the rest of the farm, things are looking up for several other players, including a top pitching prospect who delivered one of his best starts of the season. Alright, in AAA, while they struggled for much of June, the Syracuse Mets ended the month on a strong note by taking 5 of 6 games in their series against the Rochester Red Wings. It wasn't a particularly close series, with Syracuse outscoring Rochester 41-17. Mets are now 5-1 to begin the second half of the season and 36-45 overall. Newly picked up Pablo Reyes had an excellent week at the plate, tying for the team lead with 2 home runs and recording the most RBIs in the team with 6. He went 6 for 17 and also added a triple and 2 stolen bases to the ledger. Reyes spent last year in the Mets organization and began this year with the Yankees. Drew Gilbert also recorded 2 home runs in one of his best series of the season. Gilbert finished 7 for 23 with a double in addition to the 2 home runs. Gilbert has struggled this season, but just improved his OPS to 701, so this is a big development. Francisco Alvarez made an impact in his first week back in Syracuse, recording 2 home runs and a double. He also drove in 5 runs and 16 at-bats. Alvarez will hope to regain his offensive prowess in AAA before rejoining the big league club for an important second half of the season. Now, the word is that he's gone back to his old stance, which is good. There was no reason to change. I don't know why he did that. Brandon Sprout delivered arguably the best start of his season, tossing 6 scoreless innings with 2 hits and 3 walks allowed in addition to 6 strikeouts. He has had an up and down year, and his ERA now sits at 5.43. McLean delivered yet another quality start for Syracuse, allowing 2 runs over 6 innings. McLean allowed 4 hits and 3 walks and struck out 4. McLean now has a 2.72 ERA at AAA and a 2.25 ERA overall on the season. He could be at the majors very soon. AA Binghamton. The Rome Ponies won their series against the Portland Sea Dogs taking 4 games and losing 2. The series was very low scoring, with Binghamton outscoring Portland 17-12 in the 6 games. Their own opponents are 4-2 in the second half and 49-24 overall. And they're going to get better. They're going to have a better record because the guys are coming up from the very dominant Brooklyn team. Jacob Reimer had a solid first week in Double-A, recording a home run and pacing the team with 6 RBIs. His home run was his first and only extra base hit, but he went 5 for 20 and is looking to carry over his strong first half of the season in Brooklyn. His cumulative OPS is 874. Carson Bench had a similarly good first week in Binghamton, going 4 for 16 with a double, an RBI, 5 walks, and 2 stolen bases. Bench now has an OPS of 887 for the season. Jonah Tong delivered another fantastic start, allowing 1 run over 6 innings and striking out 8. He allowed 3 hits and 3 walks in his outing. Tong now has a 1.73 ERA for the season and 115 strikeouts in 73 innings. He should be in Syracuse any day now. He's going to be very soon. Joander Suarez had a similarly great start, allowing a run over 6 innings while striking out 8. Suarez hasn't had the kind of season Tong has had, but he's lowered his ERA in Double-A to 3.72 over 11 outings. Zach Thornton tossed 5 innings in his start, allowing just an unearned run on 5 hits and 4 strikeouts. He's a lefty, by the way. Thornton now has a 2.60 ERA in Binghamton and a 1.98 ERA for the season. In High A Brooklyn, the Cyclones had an impressive finish to June, taking 5 of 6 in their series against the Jersey Shore Blue Claws. Brooklyn outscored Jersey Shore 32-18 over the series to improve to 7-2 in the second half and 55-32 overall. A.J. Ewan had a great week of the plate, going 7 for 19 with a double, a home run, 3 walks, and 3 stolen bases. After a slower start in Brooklyn following his promotion, Ewan's up to speed with an 820 OPS in High A. His season OPS is at 898. He has 50 stolen bases. Chris Swallow had another strong week for Brooklyn, going 6 for 19 with a double and a home run, 4 walks, and 3 stolen bases. He also scored a whopping 7 hits, 2 more than anyone else on the team. Swallow now has his OPS for the season up to 870, and he has a 1237 OPS over his last 11 games. Jesus Baez also impressed, going 4 for 16 with a home run, 4 walks, and a stolen base. Baez is now up to a 759 OPS on the year. R.J. Gordon delivered a gem for the Cyclones, tossing 6 innings and allowing just an unearned run of 6 strikeouts. Gordon has been an under-the-radar pitcher in the Mets system this year, but he's been fantastic with a 2.78, 7.4 ERA. He was drafted last season, and I'll have a lot of stuff on the draft across all the channels over the next 2 weeks. Will Watson also looked great, allowing a run over 5 innings with 4 strikeouts. Like Gordon, Watson is a name, many people likely don't know, and the pitcher that they drafted last year. But he now has an ERA of 3.12 this year, including a 1.96 ERA in 4 appearances with Brooklyn. Jonathan Santucci is keeping his positive momentum going with another strong start. He allowed 3 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings while striking out 8. After his atrocious start to the year, Santucci now has a 3.79 ERA. That's a very good development. He's the Mets' best lefty in the system. And Thornton's probably number 2. The St. Lucie Mets split their series with the Jupiter Hammerheads, with each team taking 3 games. Jupiter won the score differential game, outscoring St. Lucie 25-15, aided by a 13-1 victory in the series finale. Mets are now 6-3 in the second half of the season and 40-34 overall. Our hero Savas shined at the plate, going 5 for 16 with a home run, 5 walks, and a stolen base. Savas has been solid for St. Lucie this year, now owning a 763 OPS. Trace Woolhoit also looked good. Continued his impressive season. Woolhoit went 6 for 21 with a home run, also adding 3 walks, 2 stolen bases, and team lead 5 runs scored. Woolhoit's OPS for the season is at 829. Simon Wine, who has mostly struggled, had a better week at the plate. Wine went 4 for 15 with 2 doubles, also adding 3 walks and leading the team with 3 RBIs. Wine now has a 622 OPS for the year. Walton Arocena didn't start, but he delivered the best outing of his St. Lucie pitcher of any St. Lucie pitcher in the series. In one appearance out of the bullpen, Arocena tossed 5 2/3 innings, scoreless, and with 8 strikeouts. Arocena has been excellent lately, recording a 0.93 ERA over his last 6 appearances and a 0.45 ERA over his last 4. For the season, his ERA is 2.56. Frank Oswalt had the best start of the week, throwing 5 1/3 scoreless innings while striking out 2. He allowed just 3 hits and no walks. Oswalt has been great for St. Lucie, owning a 3.13 ERA over 15 appearances. Channing Austin also had a great start. He only went 4 innings and allowed a run, but he struck out 9 batters in the effort. Austin now owns a 4.31 ERA on the season. The Florida Complex League Mets went 1-3 this past week, worsening their record on the year to 14-24. They remain in last place in the Florida Complex League East Division. Catcher Julio Zayas had a good week at the plate, going 5 for 10 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. 19-year-old has a 739 OPS on the year. On the mound, Jonathan Jimenez played well with a start of 4 shutout innings. The 21-year-old Jimenez has mostly struggled this year, owning a 5.26 ERA. DSL Mets Orange went 2-3 this past week, putting their record at 12-8. DSL Mets went 4-2 there, best stretch of the season yet. That puts them at 9-12. In addition to what Eliana Pena did for the DSL Mets Orange squad, pitcher Osiris Calvo, what a great name, had an excellent week on the mound. Calvo tossed 9 shutout innings with 12 strikeouts over 2 appearances and 19 2/3 innings on the year. He owns a 0.92 ERA. Excuse me, what the hell? They wrote this wrong. Yeah, 0.92 ERA. Excuse me. The DSL Mets Blue squad, Junior Amparo, is crushing it. This past week he went 7 for 10 with 2 doubles, a home run, and a walk. The season he has an OPS of 13.16. 13.6, that's pretty good. Say good, I think that's good. Amna Meza had a brilliant week on the mound, tossing 6 scoreless innings across 2 appearances for the season. He has a 1.76 ERA in 15 1/3 innings. So this is a interesting week for the Mets farm system. You run down a couple of things. The organizational leaders, A.J. Ewan is hitting 325. A.J. Ewan's all over the map on this. A.J. Ewan has an OPS of 898. Ryan Clifford has 13 home runs. A.J. Ewan has 50 stolen bases. On the pitching side, Jonah Tom, 1.73 ERA, 115 strikeouts. The whip, walks and hits per 9 innings. Zach Thornton at 0.812. The players of the week was obviously Elian Pena with the 3 home runs, and Brandon Sprout with the good performance in AAA. So, thank you for watching this video. Please stick around for the back end of this video. It's very important. You need to follow me on Facebook, and of course, subscribe to me on Substack. You get some different things on those different accounts, and hopefully you like it. And when you go, and thank you for watching. Enjoy, and I'll see you later. Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hut. Hopefully you like this video. And, of course, hit the subscribe button. We'll talk about the Mets prospects here and what happened on Sunday. Lots going on, and we're going to have the All-Star break in 2 weeks. We're going to have the Futures game. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on, especially on the Baseball Hut 2. And we're going to have a big show on the Baseball Hut the final day of the first half. You know, the Mets aren't playing well at the moment, but they will turn it around. They can guarantee it. Have the Huts guarantee. Mets minors recap. Francisco Alvarez homers again. This is from Mets Mirage. They do a great job. I had done a video last night talking about the Mets farm system, just going through the statistics and off the different websites, and it's just a disaster. I didn't like it. So Francisco Alvarez came through in the clutch for Syracuse on Sunday, launching a game-winning go-ahead home run in the 8th inning. It was the second homer in as many days for Alvarez. The 23-year-old looks to regain his form after hitting just .236 with 3 homers to his name in, of course, New York. Alvarez has switched back to his old stance, good, which will hopefully give him the boost of confidence he needs to start hitting like the Mets envisioned at the start of the year. I don't know why he went to this new stance, but once he comes back, he better start hitting. The 2 biggest reasons this team has struggled to hit is he hasn't hit and Vientos hasn't hit. The Mets are relying heavily on 2 young players, and they got to get their heads out of their asses. So Syracuse Mets won 5-3 against the Rochester Red Wings. Already talked about Alvarez. Austin Warren pitched 1 inning, gave up struck out 3, Justin Garza pitched an inning, gave up a walk, struck out 2. In Double-A Binghamton, Jet Williams went 1 for 2 in a 3-1 loss to the Portland Sea Dogs. Jet Williams was the only source of offense for the Binghamton team that struggled to generate much momentum. The Ponies were no hit until a leadoff single in the 8th inning. Oh boy. Jack Winninger pitched 4 in the 3rd innings. He had 2 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts. He has pitched really well. Ryan Lambert, who the Mets drafted last year, pitched an inning and had 2 strikeouts. Keep an eye on him. Maybe he gets to the majors this year. Douglas Orellana pitched an inning, struck out 2. High A Brooklyn, the Cyclones defeated the Jersey Shore Blue Claws 8-3. Jesse Winker on rehab went 1 for 1 with a walk, double, and RBI. He almost had a home run in the game. The designated hitter was Chris Suarez. He went 2 for 2 with a double, a home run, 2 RBIs. His OPS is 870 on the season. Expect him to go to AAA very soon. AJ Ewing went 1 for 3. He hit a leadoff home run in the game, had 2 walks and an RBI. Dakota Hawkins pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 walk, struck out 2. Ryan Ammons pitched 2 innings and 4 strikeouts. I never hear anything bad about him. He never has a bad outing. Ryan Ammons. He's a lefty. I don't know why they put righty. St. Lucie lost to the Jupiter Hammerheads 13-1. Davison Gutierrez went 1 for 4 for an RBI. Center fielder Simon Wan went 1 for 3 with a double. Gutierrez provided the lone spark in Sunday's 13-1 blowout loss to the Hammerheads, driving in the only run for an RBI. On a brighter note, Simon Wan smacked his 7th double of the season. Hunter Hodges pitched 1 in the 3rd innings. When he got to pitch well, and struck out 2. Now, we had some news on Monday, and that is they announced all the players that are going to take part, all the umpires that are going to take part in the Futures game, which I think takes place on Sunday before the All-Star game. And the Mets got 2 players that are going to be part of this game, and this is a great game. So many Mets have taken part of it. David Wright was one of them. Noah Syndergaard. Quite a few Met players were involved over the years. But here's from, again, Mesmerized Tong and Benj tapped for the Futures game. Mets prospects, right-handed pitcher Jonah Tong and outfielder Carson Benj were among the 50 prospects picked to play in the Futures game on July 12th at Truist Park in Atlanta. Tong was 22, a 7th-round pick in the 2022 draft out of Bill Crothers in Canada, Ontario, Canada, has struck out 142 batters per 9 innings for the Double-A Binghamton Roan Ponies. He's the Eastern League ERA, WHIP, and strikeouts. He's 6-3, 14 starts, going 73 innings. Tong set down 20 consecutive batters and struck out 13 in a combined perfect game on May 10th. He was 1 out away from finishing the game, which was a 7th-inning contest, because it was just a doubleheader. Carson Benj was a first-round pick last year, 19th overall from Oklahoma State. He started the season at High Brooklyn, where he hit 3. I hope he makes it to the majors, I swear. Where he hit 302 with 4 home runs, 37 RBIs, and 15 steals before his promotion in June to Binghamton. In 5 games, the Roan Ponies, the outfield has gone 4 for 16 with a double, 5 walks, and 2 stolen bases. Benj has made 33 starts in center field, 16 in right, and 10 in left. He was a two-way player in high school, I would mention. According to MLB Pipeline, Benj is the Mets' 3rd overall prospect, and Tong is their 4th. On their top 100 prospect list, Benj is listed as the 81st best prospect, while Tong is regarded as the 92nd best prospect. I would expect that Tong in particular is going to be going up on this list very quick. The game will pit National League prospects against their American League counterparts. It will take place at 4 p.m. on that Saturday. Okay, so that's a little bit different. It's the day before and then they're going to have the draft that Sunday. So thank you for watching this video. Of course, please let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.